Was Hobbs and Shaw worth really watching? Let's find out. Hobbs and Shaw obviously released today on the 1st of August 2019. This was directed by David Leitch, also known for his roles directing Deadpool 2, Atomic Blonde and John Wick. This is an action-adventure movie around 2 hours and 15 minutes long. The story of this is Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw form an unlikely alliance when a cyber-genetically enhanced villain threatens the future of humanity and their families. Let's jump straight into the good points. Now, the good points about this movie is the director, David Leitch. I think he done an amazing job, and David Leitch is one of them directors that really goes under the radar. Obviously, this guy's work rate is absolutely amazing. If you think about it, the movies of Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2, and even Hobbs and Shaw have came out in the last 3 years. This guy's work rate is really great. He's working his arse off and doing a great job, and he clearly knows how to direct action-packed movies that are intense and beautifully looking. This movie, just like the franchise, just aims to deliver when it comes to entertaining us and having fun in the cinema. Do they do that? I think they deliver that perfectly. In 2 hours and 15 minutes, I was thoroughly entertained. Time just absolutely flew by, and once it got to the end of the movie, I was actually quite gutted. Really, I was. But technically, this movie looks awesome. The cinematography really deserves a lot of credit. We got some great shots, especially when it comes to the locations chosen and the lighting which they used in this movie. I really have to give credit for that. And the editing, guys, oh my god, the editing in this. You obviously get your fast-paced stuff and your slow-paced stuff when it comes to the tone and the pacing, but also the slow motion added to this movie when it comes to the action scenes and the car chases. They were really, really well executed. The action scenes in this movie, as mentioned, are absolutely awesome. You can feel every punch and kick that's really happens in this movie. You sit there and go, oh, it really impacts you really well and gets you really involved. And the car chases, I felt they were quite interesting because of the cars chosen in this movie. Obviously, they're chosen for specific actors in this movie, and they really done a great job with choosing them, as well as obviously the car chases themselves. I really did enjoy them. But not only that, not only all this action and great stuff, we get really good emotion added to the story. I really do enjoy that because it makes the story interesting, and we get some really interesting moments for this movie. Going on to the performances of the actors really in this movie, which are outstanding in my opinion. We have Dwayne Johnson as Hobbs. I really love this character. This is definitely one of his best characters when it comes to movies. I really love Dwayne Johnson as a person, as an actor. I think he's inspirational, and only as Hobbs, I really just sort of forget that he's actually Dwayne Johnson because this character is so special. I really do love Hobbs as a character, obviously being that cop and obviously having them sort of instincts, obviously trust issues and stuff like that. He really is great in this movie. But alongside him, obviously, Jason Statham as Shaw, the complete opposite of Hobbs, obviously being the criminal and the person who went rogue and stuff like that, really adds a great element to the story as well. And I felt that this movie really done great for him as well, because we've never seen him this good in this movie. He had some greatness to the movie for sure. But these two characters are much more flushed out in this movie. I do want to add, the characters, we get to learn a lot more about them with their backstories, which we've never seen before. I really do find their stories interesting. And then we have Idris Elba playing as Brixton, a obviously super genetic character, obviously villain added to the movie. He really delivers, and I was worried about this because I'm a big fan of Idris Elba, and he's always had the bad luck of joining bad movies or failed movies, and it's not actually his fault. He's one of them actors that really go under the radar, and he really performed in this really well, and I actually enjoyed the character all the way through. Even his character adding some great backstory to the movie as well. Alongside them, we have Vanessa Kirby playing as Hattie. She really added some greatness to the movie. I'm not going to spoil what character she is and what she does throughout the movie, but really she is just as good in my opinion as Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham in this movie. Then we go on to 3 actors in this movie who I do want to give credit to, but I'm not going to spoil what they do in the movie, of course, and who they are. And we go obviously Helen Mirren obviously as Queenie. We've seen her in the past of the Fast and Furious franchise as obviously Owen Shaw's and Deckard Shaw's mum, and she was obviously that person in this movie, and she really adds some great humour throughout the movie. We have Cliff Curtis as Jonah, really great character in this movie, because I find Cliff Curtis one of them actors that really fly under the radar, never really gets seen for much, and I really did enjoy him in this movie. He really added some tense moments throughout the movie, for sure. Roman Reigns, a WWE wrestler, of course I'm a WWE fan. I absolutely loved him in this movie for what part he was in it. I think he was used for the right man and really added some great fighting sequences to this movie. But what do we go to see this movie for? The best thing about this movie for sure, obviously the chemistry between Dwayne Johnson and Statham. I really do think these two are great. Obviously both characters bickering, insulting, swearing, and just technically just wanting to kill each other. That's what we went to see this movie for, as well as all that great action stuff. This movie just delivers in every way, and these two are actually hilariously awesome throughout the movie. So guys, there are 2 cameos in this movie. I'm not going to spoil it, of course, but they will blow your mind. They are actually awesome additions to the movie, and they really add some great comedy as well. In the way they end the movie, I think it was excellently handled, open for a sequel, which I'm definitely interested in and want to see. Now, going into the bad points of the movie, there are only really 2 bad points for me about this movie. One being, even though the action is really awesome throughout the movie, it can be a bit too much for me. There is a lot of action in there, and sometimes we just need a little bit of a breather to really get over it and then get on to the next bit. There were some bits which were spaced out quite nicely, but there were some bits that really were a lot of action. You just needed a bit of time to just sit back and go, okay, that happened, that was awesome. But the main issue for me being the script and the writing throughout the movie. Obviously, when it comes to the writing for Fast and Furious, a lot of people tend to gun this movie down, but that's not what I'm on about. It's technically the script for the movie, the dialogue, especially for Idris Elba at times. I felt like could have had a bit more powerful lines, a bit more obviously intimidating. Obviously, the guy done a great job and delivered what he had, but I mean, in terms of the script, I feel like it could have been touched up and made a bit more impactful. So guys, it's rating time. Let's have a look what the critics had to rate this movie. We have IMDb giving a 7.5 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes giving a 73%, and Metacritic giving a 61. My rating for this movie is an 8 out of 10. That makes this movie totally awesome. Guys, overall, this movie is a Fast and Furious movie. It's a popcorn, manly, action-packed movie mixed with a story which adds emotional segments for sure. And even though this movie is action-packed, far-fetched, and some things which people don't like, it is awesome for what it really is. Not many films try to do what these do and actually succeed. And if you go into this expecting more than what the franchise has offered so far, you will be definitely disappointed with this movie. But there is so much greatness in here for you to just sit back and enjoy it as an action movie. I recommend you guys go and see it yourselves and let me know what you think. So guys, an 8 out of 10 for Hobbs and Shaw. Don't forget to leave your ratings and thoughts in that comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button. Lets me know you enjoyed the content I'm giving you to give you more reviews just like this one. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting that bell for much more movies and TV series content. We review stuff, we react to trailers, and we also rank stuff from the worst to the best. Just like tomorrow's video, guys, where we're going to be ranking all these Fast and Furious movies, including Hobbs and Shaw, of course, in my video tomorrow. I don't you guys to miss, so subscribe and hit that bell to be notified and stay tuned. Lately I've obviously been reviewing the whole Fast and Furious franchise. I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description, a card above my head, and an annotation at the end of the video for sure. I don't want you guys to miss out that, all you Fast and Furious fans. But without further ado, guys, I've been me, you've been you, and I'll see you next time, guys, on Talking with Jay Springett.